Thank you. Chair Stevens, you ready?
I'm ready. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. We've got quorum. Is there anyone in the public who'd like to make a comment?
Do you want to say the first part? Good afternoon, Commissioners. Today is Thursday, February 29th, 2024. It is 1:35 p.m. This is a regular meeting scheduled for the Ethics Commission. We have reached a quorum. Chair Stevens, you may start the meeting.
Okay, now let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. Thank you. Is there anyone in the public who'd like to make a comment?
Chair Stevens, I have a few public comments that I wish to make to the Commission. First of all, I would like to introduce Michelle Cochran, Board of Commissions Manager. For the record, I apologize. I would like to introduce you to two new members of the Commission. As you are aware, the Ethics Code calls for 5 external entities to appoint members to the board. So 2 of those entities have appointed new members. In front of you have Carrie Antwine. She's the El Paso Bar Association's appointee for this next 2-year term. And then Roger Martinez is the El Paso County Sheriff Civil Service Commission appointee for this next term. So I would just like to allow them to introduce themselves briefly, and then I still have a couple more announcements after that.
Nice to meet you all. My name is Carrie Antwine. I am a General Counsel at El Paso Children's Hospital.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you all.
Welcome.
Good afternoon. My name is Roger Martinez. I am a happily retired Chief Juvenile Probation Officer in the County of El Paso. I served for 29.5 years with the county and the last 13 as Chief of the department. And now I am blessed to be the caretaker of my 97-year young mother who lives with me at home and loving my garden, my fruit trees, and everything that goes with that as well. But it was nice to put on a dress shirt today. It was nice to put something on a little bit more than shorts and Crocs and a t-shirt. So, but I'm looking forward to, I am looking forward to working with y'all and resolving issues that come before us and hopefully that there's a resolution to all that come here. So, thank you.
Thank you in advance for your service.
Thank you.
On that note, Mr. Keats will continue to serve as the Civil Service Commission's appointee, and Gladio Camacho will continue to serve as El Paso Society for HR Management's appointee. So thank you so much. Lastly, Mr. Lanza will be being replaced by a new appointee. Her name is Nancy Nino. So I was going to say thank you and recognize him for his service, that this will be his last meeting. Just so you're aware, when a term expires, the person in the seat continues to serve until a new one is appointed. And so the new individual has not been appointed. They've completed their training, so I'll be getting it on this month on the Commissioner's Court agenda. So they will be here for the next ethics meeting, and that will be Nancy Nino that they have appointed. Okay. Lastly, it is sad that I announced that this is Chair Stevens' last meeting with us as well. She has tendered her resignation, and Chair Stevens, if you'd like to take the floor and tell everybody.
Sure. Thank you. Yes, we're going to be moving. My husband and I are going to move to Bogota, Colombia in a few months, and with his work in the Justice Department. And so I need to have all my resignations and such from all these things, but it has been such a pleasure to serve with all of you all, and done some good things over the last couple of years, and but it's you'll very much enjoy. It's not too taxing, but interesting. At least it has not been, because it just takes one little blip. But don't loosen up those laws or regulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for your leadership.
Thank you.
And good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. It's a nice change. Our children are all out of the house and such. It's a nice time.
You've been a wonderful chair to have on this board. We appreciate your service. We will be recognizing Ms. Stevens at a future Commissioners Court meeting as well. I will let the Commission know when that date will be. I'm looking at March 11th right now if that does work, but I'll be in contact with you. No worries, I'll get in contact with you, and then I'll let the rest of you know, just so you can be there. And then if Mr. Lanza chooses to be recognized at court, we'll do so as well. So thank you so so much. In this instance, just for knowledge, since she has resigned, we will have a vacancy existing versus when somebody is still appointed to the board. So thank you so much. Those are all the comments I have to take.
So we will, would you like to present the minutes?
Yes, Michelle Cochran, County Administration. Members of the Commission, on your screen, you'll see the minutes for the last meeting on October 5th, 2023. We also sent this in your backup if you had a chance to review. If not, no worries. But if there are not any questions or concerns, we would like to request a motion to accept the minutes.
I move. Second.
Please call a vote.
Commissioner Camacho?
Aye.
Commissioner Keats is absent. Commissioner Antoine?
Aye.
Commissioner Lanza is absent. Commissioner Maldonado?
Aye.
Commissioner Benoit?
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez?
Abstain.
Commissioner Pearson?
Aye.
And Commissioner Jurado?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item, do we go to number 4?
Sure.
Item number 4, discuss and take appropriate action to select the chair for term March 1st, 2024 through August 31st, 2024.
Madam Chair, members of the Commission, the purpose of this agenda item is to maintain compliance with Section 161 of the Ethics Bylaws, which requires the selection of the Ethics Commission chair by majority vote of the Ethics Commission members. The chair will serve a term of 6 months. Currently, we have Ms. Mary Stevens as the chair, who was selected by the Ethics Commission to serve from September 2023 through February of 2024. At this time, Commissioners, I would ask for a nomination of somebody of March 2024 through April, May, June, July, September 2024.
I think it says August 31st, 2024.
Oh,
August
August.
31st.
Yeah.
I apologize, August 2024. Any nominations?
People have been here, I guess they.
The most tenured individuals are you three. The head of the table.
I mean, Victor, it's you or me. I sometimes am unable to make it to meetings, so that's my only thing. Is, but I think I've been fairly consistent with this maybe 1 or 2.
I'll let you know when
Yeah, I will not.
Okay, yeah,
Mr. Benoit, do you
Happy to.
accept the nomination?
sure. Yeah.
At this time, I'll ask Liz to call for a vote to nominate Commissioner Benoit as the chair for this 6-month term.
Commissioner,
I apologize, we need a motion and then a second as well.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry, who was the first?
Victor, Commissioner Maldonado,
And
Commissioner Pearson.
Thank you. Commissioner Camacho?
Aye.
Commissioner Antoine?
Aye.
Commissioner Maldonado?
Aye.
Commissioner Benoit?
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez?
Aye.
Commissioner Pearson?
Aye.
And Commissioner Jurado?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Congratulations, Commissioner.
Is that what you said? I look forward to my cheat sheet.
Yeah, I know. We got you.
Thank you, Liz.
Right, okay.
Number 5.
Yes, ma'am. Review the terms of the preliminary standing review committee term for March 1st, 2024 through August 31st, 2024.
Madam Chair, members of the Commission, on the screen, you'll see Section 161.1551 of the Local Government Code for the Standing Preliminary Review Committee, or the PRC, as we refer to. The purpose of this committee is to conduct a preliminary review of each sworn complaint filed with the Ethics Commission. The PRC consists of 2 members of the Commission and a review officer selected and retained by the Commission, which is an outside attorney who assists in reviewing such complaints alongside the 2 members of the Commission. The next scheduled appointees to the PRC for the term March 1st, 2024 to August 31st, 2004 are the county judge's appointee, who is currently pending right now, and then the El Paso Society for Human Resources appointee, Claudia Camacho. No action is needed. This is only a reminder of those serving for this term. We're having technical issues.
Yeah, it doesn't want to seem to.
It's just a history of who has been assigned to the PRC. And we
But this is the chair.
Mhm. Sure. Yes, sir.
Vice Chair, and then if you want to click on files for the, we're on the preliminary standing review committee.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
New location. There's the next one.
So it's a standing rotation, and once we have a replacement for Chairwoman Stevens, they will be assigned to this PRC. Okay.
And just for the new members, if something does come up in that time, they look directly to you. It is a little bit of work, but it's interesting and they support you. So, all right, number 6.
Yes, ma'am. Item number 6, discuss and take appropriate action regarding the training compliance report for persons covered by the Code of Ethics.
Madam Chair, members of the Commission, on screen you'll see the County Ethics Training Report. The report indicates a training completion rate currently of 93% total. We are committed to ensuring that those individuals who fall under the Ethics Code remain in compliance by sending training renewal reminders to employees, as well as copying their department heads. I'm not sure if you had time to review, but we'll leave it up. If there are no questions or concerns, we would request a motion to accept. However, this is posted for discussion if there is any that needs to take place.
Several questions. If anyone on that list had some disciplinary action within their particular department, and they were asked to take an ethics training, they've already taken it, is it counted twice or is it just counted once?
It would be the most recent time they took it would be what's reflected in their record.
Okay, so it would not have you don't have a double digit.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. It's by employee.
Those constable offices,
Need a phone call.
yeah, do you send out
We do.
notifications to the constable?
Yes, sir. So HR sends out a 90-day notice to the employee. At the 60-day mark, it goes to the employee and department head at that point, and then 30-day mark again to the employee and the department head. I would like to note, I know the number is shocking, but those constable offices are small. So typically 4 or 5. So if it's an office of 4 and one individual is not compliant, they're already 25% below everybody else. So just keep that in mind. The sizes of the department would affect their percentage of completion.
But do you mind scrolling down quickly? Because the sheriff's office looks pretty low as well, considering the number of folks that are in that office.
Agreed. Yeah. Again, because it's a reflection of the percentage, and they are our largest department. We've tried working with them, I can say, when I was in human resources to help accommodate them. They do struggle with the shift work and having enough officers in the jail sometimes, and so they try, but it is a struggle to get them compliant.
And remind me of the ramifications.
Currently, there's no ramifications with the exception of it's noted on their employee evaluation annually. So on the evaluation form, department heads or supervisors have to indicate the last time the individual took the training and could dock them for not being compliant with it, because everybody knows, everybody has access to their own training records, they get these multitude of emails from HR. So potentially it could have them fail or hurt their performance evaluation and not get a step increase, which actually would not apply to the sheriff's department because we have a CBA with them. So there's not any ramifications to answer your question.
All right, we also.
I think that'd be a wise item to discuss, probably, or think about.
Yeah. I mean, if you're tracking something. But anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other
for the
questions on that one?
Any other discussion questions? All right, a motion to accept, please.
Motion to accept.
Thank you.
Second.
Commissioner Camacho,
Aye.
Commissioner Antwi,
Aye.
Commissioner Maldonado.
Aye.
Commissioner Benoit.
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez.
Aye.
Commissioner Pearson.
Aye.
And Commissioner Jurado.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Number 7.
Yes, ma'am. Discuss and take appropriate action regarding the County Code of Ethics and corresponding reporting form relating to campaign contributions.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, and Chair Michelle Cochran with County Administration. On your screen, in just a second, you can click number 7.
I forget.
That's okay. This is multitasking, so I apologize. For those of you who've been here, you recall that the campaign contribution section of the code was amended to clearly indicate what needs to be reported, when and how, and just to give a little bit more examples to help people understand the code. Well, at that time, the corresponding form that they have to submit for the Commissioner's Court when they receive campaign contributions didn't match the code, and so it was a little bit confusing, and we just wanted to make sure it was crystal clear to the candidates. So on your screen, on the form, we have the code specifically cited regarding the contributions, and the confusion was, okay, is it a $2,500 sole contribution? Is it cumulative? And it is cumulative. And so if you'll scroll down just a little bit more, just made that clear on the form so that there's no question whether it is or is not cumulative. And we left several spaces in the event that the same donor who's donating different amounts to their campaign. So we just wanted to update you on this. We posted it for discussion in the event that you all need to discuss or would like to make any edits to the code or the corresponding form. The form is procedural in nature, but we just wanted to present that to you just so you're aware of what we've done on the admin side.
Good change.
Thank you so much. Okay. No action. Thank you so much. No action.
No action? Okay. Item number 8, receive a presentation regarding an end-of-year review of 2023 ethics opinions.
Thank you, Anna Schumacher, Assistant County Attorney. Good afternoon, everyone. So if we could please bring up the PowerPoint slide just so everyone can see it. We started doing these year-end reviews or like 6-month reviews just so you all have more insight into some of the questions that we're receiving with regards to the ethics code. So we can go on to the next slide, please. I think you all will find these interesting this time around. So as you all know, every time we receive an ethics question, we do an individual analysis, right? Because the facts really matter in all of the questions that we receive. And so we want to make sure we emphasize that. The next slide, please. All right.
Can you get a little bit bigger? Just zoom on the bottom right, the magnifying glass.
Just in this little box.
Thank you. Okay. So the first question is, can a county contracted professional serve on a county advisory board? So the thing we have to consider, the sections are 5.2.2 and 5.3.2, which say that county public servants shall excuse themselves from exercising influence, participating in, discussing, recommending, and or granting purchases, bids, or contracts if they are a family member, have a substantial financial interest, and if 5.2 applies, must complete an affidavit and place it on the Commissioner's Court agenda identifying a substantial financial interest. So in this instance, the person could serve on the commission. However, they may have to recuse themselves when certain discussions come up, right, that involve their financial interest or them receiving some kind of benefit. So, next slide, please. Feel free to stop me if you all have any questions. All right, so this is a fun one. So the question was, can a private entity provide pizzas and drinks to celebrate the Commissioners Court announcement of a county department's community contest winners. So this is like, we ask kids to participate, we get entries, someone's selected, it's a great day, they get honored in Commissioners Court. Could a private company then provide pizza and drinks for that, like pizza party? And so here, our ethics code section says a prohibited gift does not include a gift that was not personal to the county public servant and was a gift to the county for a county public purpose that was accepted by the Commissioners Court pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 81.032. We see these pretty often on the Commissioners Court agenda where you can accept these benefits that are not to an individual, they're to the county, right? And so here, because the pizza, if it was more than $50, we recommended that it be accepted by the Commissioners Court for donation. Thank you. Next slide, please. All right. So this one was, can a county employee accept 2 tickets to a nonprofit's fundraising concert? So in our ethics code, a prohibited gift does not include, and it says invitations or tickets to a fundraising dinners or public charitable events. We literally took the text of the code and because it's plural, we said yes, county employee could accept the tickets for themselves and a +1. It's good that people are being cautious, and we appreciate the question. Next slide, please. So we're really starting to see quite a few questions with regards to raffle prizes, which have been front and center here for the last few meetings. So the first question was, may a local company raffle prizes to members of the public and up to 3 prizes valued at $150 to employees at a county-sponsored community event? So it's kind of 2 segments of this question, right? Is can someone give prizes to members of the public, and then can they give prizes to employees? So here we look at code section 9.4.10, which says a prohibited gift does not include a gift that was not personal to the county public servant and was a gift to the county for a county public purpose that was accepted by Commissioners Court pursuant to that code section we just described, 81.032. So here what we said is the company can raffle prizes directly to non-county staff. This is members of the public, right? Because they're not covered by our ethics code. And we said that if employees are going to accept prizes, the way that that would happen is Commissioners Court would have to first approve the donations on an agenda, and then they would have to find a public purpose finding to then give those employees those raffle prizes. That's how it currently works. So you'll see another one in a second, please.
So,
Yes.
Is that a yes or no?
So it's a yes with regards to
Public.
the members of the public. They can give the raffle prizes, but with regards to employees, because it's over $50, it has to be accepted by Commissioners Court first. It's one of the exceptions.
So if this company, if the county, whichever department in the county is sponsoring this event would have to go to the Commissioners Court before the event,
Correct.
so that the company wouldn't have to say, are you an employee or are you part of the public?
That would be a good idea, yes.
And may I chime in on that?
Oh, of course, yes.
And so the Human Resources Department does this, for example, for the employee picnic. We have hosted an employee picnic every year, but prior to the county soliciting donations, because we put it on without any tax dollars, we ask for donations from department heads and elected officials, as well as outside entities, and they do have an item in Commissioners Court to solicit and accept any donations from external parties prior to, and those prices are raffled off at the county picnic for employees.
And the public purpose finding is actually under the Constitution, the Texas Constitution, because once we have assets that belong to the county, we can't give away. It's a gift of public funds if we're just giving people benefits, right? We have county public funds that we're responsible for. So the Commissioners Court also makes a public purpose finding whenever they do something like that.
What would that be? I mean, I'm just curious, like,
Yeah,
to me, it seems like that should not be allowed.
it's employee morale. So there are several Texas Attorney General opinions that have actually addressed this over the course of the years. And so one of the things that they see benefit in is making sure that you're upkeeping employee morale versus via these small gifts. And so,
I guess it'd be equating like what the private sector does with bonuses. They're able to give, but this is the way the county can, not circumvent, but be allowed to do the same thing, but in the public sector.
Sort of, but it's vendors donating prizes.
Not always.
No, it's not vendors.
It's not vendors.
Sometimes.
Some
vendors
It could be.
so.
I mean, it could be. That's what I'm
It
saying.
could be. Oftentimes, though, it's private companies. One I can think of off the top of my head that I was surprised with a couple years ago. Mattress Firm donated a mattress to raffle off, and it was our grand prize. And mattresses are not cheap,
Right, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But that was a private company, not a vendor.
the idea is that the companies are not directly awarding or giving prizes to employees, right? So it has to be a gift or donation to the county as a whole, and then the county conducts a raffle.
Right.
All right, next, but good question. So more raffle prizes. So I'm not done yet. So the next question we received is, can the county request third parties bring donations for raffle items for county community outreach projects? So I think Michelle covered this really well, actually, a second ago. So very similar, right, with regards to generally we can't accept anything of valued at more than $50. However, this there is an exception under 81.032 that allows the Commissioners Court to accept donations. Same rules. So here, right, is the county officer employee is prohibited from soliciting gifts or benefits, but a county department may solicit donations so long as they are solicited in the name of the county and accepted by the Commissioners. So very similar. Next slide, please. This one we also had, if you will recall, not that long ago. It was a similar question, but it was, can a department head's child serve in a paid student county position? So we look at Code Section 6.3, and Section 6.3 says that county elected officials and department heads shall not advocate the employment, appointment, promotion, transfer, or advancement to a paid county position of a family member. Neither shall they supervise nor manage a family member unless the employee was employed prior to the election or appointment of the department head. So here, so long as that department head is not advocating that their child be employed or get that job, that would be okay. Next slide, please. All right. So I may have way more of these next time we present because we are very much in election season, right? But one of the questions that we received, and this is slightly similar to, I think, a question you brought up, Commissioner Stevens, is can the county seal be used in political advertising? So the distinction from the last time around with the county pins that anyone can receive if they go to county administration. Here, someone's asking to use like the county seal, the letterhead on their mailers or on their things, right? So there's a Texas Election Code section, as well as an advisory opinion that says you can't use any political subdivision resources or funds basically for campaign purposes. You just can't do it. And so here, the analysis is that the county seal was created by an employee, and actually we know that we hired a company to actually redesign our seal not that long ago. So we consider that to be intellectual property. County funds were used to develop that intellectual property, and so no, individuals would not be able to use the seal itself on their letterhead, their logos, their advertising.
There's got to be case law on this in the election code, right?
So there are many examples with regards to use of public funds. I don't know if I've seen one specifically with the seal. There is state law with regards to state uses of the seal, but not local government level. But we applied the same reasoning that they did.
Okay.
Okay, and then that was our last show and tell item for today. So I will be back with more. Thank you. All any questions?
It's a great addition.
Good. I'm glad you both like it and find it helpful.
And she was referring to, I had asked, I know somebody that was running for office and they were going to use the pin in the photos. And so they asked me, and I was like, so because if anyone can get those pins, the answer is yes. But that's
Thank you. Keep getting more questions, so we'll be back with more, I assure you. So thank you, guys.
And for clarity, those questions are coming in from departments to the commission, and then the county attorney is handling.
Right, and a lot of times I don't answer these directly. So some of our, like the sheriff's office attorneys may receive an ethics question. And so what they do is they write it up and then they'll send it back to me and they'll say, does this align with what's in the code? And I'll review and then I add it to our lovely tech.
I'm glad people are asking.
Yeah.
It's good.
Thank you. All right, that's it for this item. Thank you.
All right, number 9.
Yes, ma'am. Item number 9, receive a presentation regarding Texas law pertaining to gift and donations.
Anna Schumacher again, Assistant County Attorney. So we have been touching on this subject quite a bit in the past year. There's also been a lot of media attention with regards to ethics and local government. So we wanted to bring this item to you all to discuss the Texas Penal Code's, provisions with regards to gifts. Next slide, please. So one of the first things I wanted to point out is at the beginning when this commission was started, which very much predates me, I think just about anyone in this room, but you all recall, and I think Michelle previously has mentioned, right, the county itself was not at its best place from an ethics perspective, right? And so they really, our founders, looked at this, and one of the things that they really wanted to strive for is that the county ethics code was never intended to recite this penal code that we're going to go over today, right? It was intended to be aspirational. So we're in trouble, right? The idea is once we're saying, is this illegal or not legal, right? Because it might not be illegal, but it doesn't mean it's right. So just wanted to highlight that before we get started. So next slide, please. So we're going to focus on Texas Penal Code Chapter 36 today, and it includes a wide array of prohibited conduct, which includes bribery, improper influence, tampering with witnesses, obstruction or retaliation, acceptances of honorariums, gift to public servants by persons subject to his jurisdiction, and offering gifts to public servants. And there are some exceptions to these that are carved out that we'll talk about. Next slide, please. So the Penal Code defines a benefit essentially as anything reasonably regarded as pecuniary gain or pecuniary advantage. So this means anything of value that could reasonably be valuable, that's a benefit. Next slide, please. All right. So Texas Penal Code, Section 36.02, this is essentially receiving any type of benefit in exchange for an action you're taking in your official capacity. So it is not okay, right? No matter how small the exercise of that public servant's action is, you cannot accept a benefit from someone else to do that. Next slide, please. So Section 36.07 deals with the acceptance of honorariums. So there is basically, unless you are doing something that, and we talk about this in Gift Code Exception 9.4.8, it is, you can't accept an honorarium if you were asked but for your position as an official leader, right? If the reason they're asking you and paying you is because of your position, not because of your expertise, right, that would not be acceptable. However, the distinction here in Part B is that there isn't a prohibition if you're accepting transportation, lodging, or meals, right? If you are engaging in a seminar or you are addressing an audience and the extent of those services are more than merely perfunctory, right? So it just can't be for show. It has to be really something that you're contributing. Next slide, please. All right, so some examples of honorariums. These are kind of fun. So one of them, and these are real examples, is a legislator is offered an engraved plaque in appreciation for speech. So here, really, the emphasis was in appreciation for. That suggested that this person was being honored in an official capacity as opposed to asking to speak because of their expertise, so that was a prohibited honorarium. The converse of this, right, is an officer of a state agency is offered payment for teaching a course at a state university. So here they're being asked, presumably, to offer this class because of what they know. And so long as payment reflects the value of their services, that would be okay. So if someone's being offered $1 million, right, to teach at a state university a course that is not right, does not align with services they're being offered, so that would still not be okay. All right, so next slide, please. All right. So Texas Penal Code Section 36.08, this is kind of similar to what we just talked about, but it's receiving gifts from people that are subject to your jurisdiction. So here, right, you cannot accept a benefit from a public servant cannot accept a benefit from someone they know or that they know is likely to become interested in any contract, purchase, payment, claim, or transaction involving the exercise of his discretion. So here what's interesting that I wanted to highlight is that the public servant knows is interested or is likely to become interested in a contract, right? So you cannot accept a benefit or a gift from that individual. They do have an exception to this, which is similar to our code section, which is that if you receive one of these gifts, the government could, for example, if you can accept that gift as a governmental entity, you could accept it, or you could donate it to a nonprofit, which aligns with what we have in our ethics code. All right, so then we go into a slew of exceptions. As you all know, we also have an exceptions section within our ethics code with regards to the gift section. So one of the exceptions is legitimate consideration for the services you're providing, right? If someone is hired, you are the expert in that field and they pay you compensation that aligns with your services, that is okay. The other thing is gift or benefits conferred on account of kinship or personal or professional relationship that's independent of your official duties. So this is something, you knew this person from way before you were a public servant. Maybe they're, your godfather, they could still give you a gift even though you're a public servant because they're giving it to you for a reason independent of your official duties. The other is political contributions that are defined by the election code. It's also very similar to our ethics code. The other is an item issued by a governmental entity that allows the use of property or facilities owned, leased, or operated by the governmental entity. An example of this is not here because we pay for parking, employees pay for parking, but at the city, for example, you get your ID and you can scan in and you can pay, or you can use the parking lot for free. So that would be okay. So an item with value of less than $50. And so here it also includes a negotiable instrument, so that could be a gift card. So that's one of the exceptions. And then additionally, this was a little bit interesting. So food, lodging, transportation, or entertainment accepted as a guest, so long as that recipient is required to report those items, and then they do in accordance with that law. All right, so next slide, please. Some fun examples again. So the sponsor of a legal seminar offers a judge free attendance. So here the analysis was because the entity that the judge worked for would have paid for that same seminar, he would have received reimbursement. That is an acceptable gift. It doesn't work if someone is going maybe to, being jet-setted to something that the county would never pay for because it's just so extravagant, then that's a different scenario. But here, a legal seminar that, for example, a county would have otherwise paid for, you can accept that from another individual.
But as we've learned,
yes,
the ethics code would not come into play on this one because judges are not included.
That's correct. Yes. So these examples are from the Texas. Yeah. But yes, it is correct. So then the other one is equipment vendors offer to provide county officials transportation, lodging, and meals to view an equipment demonstration. So under the penal code, the donor's representative has to be present. They can't just provide this and have an all-paid trip type thing. They would have to be there, have to be a part of the demonstration. The other part that the Texas Ethics Commission considered is that they could be considered a guest, and so long as that food, lodging, transportation, entertainment is reported as required by applicable law, that would be okay under the penal code. Again, not the ethics code, but the lowest level penal code. So then if we continue, we have a couple more examples. So some things that the Ethics Commission has said are acceptable are inexpensive handkerchiefs, key rings, some of like the swag Betsy showed us last time, that would be acceptable, right? Less than $50. Perishable foods in small amounts that you're not asking for. Someone brings you brownies, that would be okay under the penal code. And then maybe larger gifts have to be, they're not attributed to the donor, but can be put out for everyone to enjoy. So that probably sounds familiar as well. What is not okay under the Texas Ethics Commission, what they've said is, there was an example with regards to an IT company, and they wanted to give state agency employees gift cards. Like everyone participates in this training, we're gonna give you, and I think it's actually more than $50. So it's $20 to $60 gift cards. And ultimately, the Texas Ethics Commission said, no, it's a gift valued at more than $50. And ultimately, it's a company that may be interested in a contract with the state. And these, even though they're maybe not the highest tier IT employees, right? They were considered to potentially have influence or discretion over that deal. And so the Texas Ethics Commission said no. All right. Next slide, please. All right. So we've talked quite a bit about this. But again, there's a separate section outside of the Penal Code, which is the Texas Local Government Code 81.032. And under this code, it does allow the Commissioner's Court to accept several things. It could be labor, services, grants, donations, bequests. This could be plaques for parks. So long as it's being placed on the agenda and accepted by Commissioners Court, who then finds that they're performing a function that's conferred by law on the county to perform, they can accept that gift or that donation. We have a similar provision in our ethics code under section 9.4.10 that tracks that exact same section for that reason. So we see this one pretty often. And then just any questions, but that's just kind of an overview. Just a lot going on with ethics right now. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Good.
So item number 10 would be adjourned, Commissioners. We have covered all the agenda items for this meeting. Would you like to adjourn the meeting at this time?
Just need a consensus from everybody.
Yes.
The meeting has adjourned at